It's News Hour on Canal the English. Good evening. Our top stories for tonight. Catholic Christians venerate Mary, the mother of Jesus Christ, today. Catholic Christians across Cameroon told to emulate the example of Mary as they cramped churches on Assumption Day. 4 suspected criminals specialized in stealing domestic animals have been hemmed by the gendarmes in Yaoundé. They equally deal in tramadol and Indian hemp. Out of the country, Zimbabwean First Lady Grace Mugabe has failed to show up in court after assaulting a woman in South Africa. Development will be yours right ahead. We say happy feast day to all Catholic Christians as they celebrate Assumption Day. Today is being commemorated as Assumption Day, and Catholic Christians in Cameroon, just like their fellow brothers and sisters the world over, today believe the mother of Jesus Christ, Mary, was taken up to heaven, body and soul. At the Mary Queen of the Apostle Minor Basilica Mvoli, the Mass was officiated by the Archbishop of Yaoundé, His Lordship Jean Baga. Beatrice Gamo was amongst the Christians. This report.
The Blessed Virgin Mary is in heaven. She is our joy today. The joy of these many Christians and religious at the Mary Queen of the Apostles Minor Basilica Mvoli in Yaoundé, on the Feast of Assumption of Mary into heaven this August 15. Being a model to Christians in their permanent quest for holiness, the place of Mary important in the Catholic Church.
We thank God for the grace He gave us by the Holy Mary, who is for us a real mother, who is interceding for us.
It is this bond, love, and Mary's protection of her child in Revelation chapter 11 and 12 that the Church is portraying. This 15th August, occasion for the Church also to inform Christians of the Holy See's approval of the beatification of His Holiness Monseigneur Gerard Henri Faita, founder of the Roman Catholic Church here in Cameroon.
We see in this occasion that God is giving us full graces, and we hope that many miracles will be done in the intercession of this holy man.
A day of thanks and gratitude also to all those who helped the Church during the final journey of Monseigneur Jean-Marie Benoit Bala.
Especially this soldier, Bouba Gauthier, who died helping us to go to Bafia. After this his burying, we want to continue to look for the truth about his death. We are calling all the power coming from God to help us to have the light to do it. We hope to know who did this, but for what reason he did it, and how he did it. And now, we as Christians, what we must do in this situation.
The Blessed Virgin Mary on this day of Assumption is in heaven where she is praying and interceding for Christians. Many have stories to tell in this light.
Christians of the St. Teresa Cathedral in Kombo Division have prayed for the socio-political situation in Cameroon. Their prayers were lifted up today as they celebrated Assumption Day. This report.
It is with songs of praise that Christians of St. Teresa's Cathedral in Kombo Division celebrated the Feast of Assumption. During the Mass officiated by Reverend Father Ngengang Baminjo, the Christians prayed for God's intervention, especially on the ongoing socio-political situation in the country.
Remember that Mary, after she completed her walk on this earth, end of her life, God took her to heaven, body and soul. That's the mystery of our faith. We all hope that one day we shall rise and we shall go to join God in heaven. But she, because of the special duty she performed as a mother of God, doing the will of God as much as she could, God gave her that special privilege of being taken up to heaven, body and soul.
It was also a joyful moment for the women as they celebrate Mary, the intercessor. They were called upon to live a life that reflects that of Mary.
It's a special day. Personally, to me, like a woman, before being a CW a woman, because it is the day that Mary went up to heaven, and it is a feast that we celebrate with pomp. All over the national territory, all over the world, CWA celebrates this day.
The Feast of Assumption is the day Catholic Christians believe Holy Mary was taken up to heaven body and soul.
Over in Ambam, Christians have been told to emulate the example of Mary, the mother of Jesus Christ. Father Luke Moreau of Our Lady of Providence Parish, who celebrated the Mass of Assumption, told Christians to be humble and honor Mary if they love Jesus Christ, the Savior. Gladys Sambo has details.
It is in this atmosphere that Christians of Our Lady of Providence Parish in Ambam celebrated the Feast of Assumption, a day Catholic Christians believe Mary, the mother of Jesus, was taken up to heaven, body and soul. Christians were called to follow the example of the Virgin Mary, her humility, wisdom, obedience, purity, faith, patience, charity, amongst other virtues. One of the virtues that were developed in my homily is humility. Mary, without pride, decided to become a servant. The second virtue is service. She rendered service to her cousin despite her pregnancy. The third is her silence. Despite all odds, she remained silent until she found out that she was carrying in her womb Jesus, the Savior. These virtues of Mary, the mother of Jesus Christ, is emulated by women of the Catholic Women Association to promote teamwork, faith, commitment, respect, and hard work. On this solemn day that the mother of Jesus went up to heaven, body and soul, I learned that she was a humble woman. As the priest explained in his homily, Mary is not adored, she is venerated. And we must understand that we have to honor her if we love Jesus. I have learned today that Mary is the mother of humanity. She is humble, and we must emulate her example. Some catechumens received the holy sacraments of baptism and First Holy Communion. Our Lady of Providence Parish, this Assumption Day was packed full with Catholic Christians from neighboring Gabon and Equatorial Guinea.
Here in Douala, Christians of the Orthodox Church have been called upon to humbly obey the will of God as Mary did. The call was made as they celebrated Assumption Day. Crystal Catala completes the story.
Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. It is on this word that the Christians of Orthodox Church in Douala celebrated the elevation of Mary in heaven. In his homily drawn from the book of Luke 1, verse 39 to 56, Reverend Father Chrysostom Elie called on Christians to humbly obey the will of God as Mary did.
C'est la parole de Dieu qui élève l'homme.
The Virgin Mary received the message of angels, and she accepted, and all generations proclaim her goodness. It is with humility that we can receive unperishable greatness. As many think, Catholic Christians do not worship Mary, but venerate her for the significant role she played as channel God used to reach men.
Nous n'adorons pas la Vierge Marie.
We don't worship Holy Mary, we venerate her because she is the person that gives salvation to humanity. You cannot accept Jesus and you don't accept Mary, who carried Jesus.
Lui qui a pris chair dans son sang.
The church service was graced by songs of praise.
As Catholic Christians in Cameroon venerate Mary today, we take you to discover one of the oldest Catholic churches of the country, Merenberg, constructed some 200 years ago in the Senegal Maritime Division of the Littoral. The lone priest says the site would have served as a touristic site if it had not been hampered by the poor state of the road. Morindi completes the story.
This is a lone path that leads to one of the oldest Catholic churches in Cameroon. The place is called Mariambeng in the Sanaga Maritime Division. Tourists are making a discovery of the site. The building was constructed by a German priest in 1891. You are in the heart of the first ever Catholic church in Cameroon. Most Christians come here to make a discovery. This is another very old building. The Catholic Church in Mariambeng was committed in the hands of Mary to intercede for Christians. The building that is almost 200 years old have seen moments of turbulence by the Catholic Church. Tourists saw it as a wonderful moment to connect with history. This has enabled us to know the history of the Catholic Church, Cameroon and its schools. I am not a Catholic Christian, but I love this experience and adventure. The lone priest here said the place would have attracted more people if the roads were rehabilitated. This site is a historic site that should have attracted tourists. But you can see the roads are bad. We don't have water, no electricity, and other basic necessities. Despite the deplorable state of the road, people still struggle to come here. According to reports brandished by the priest, 150 persons visited the site last year. He wants the number of visitors to triple, and that can only happen if government rehabilitates the road.
Away from our Assumption Day celebration, however, it was a bad Assumption Day for a gang of 4. They are specialized in cat theft, and they are equally dealers in tramadol and Indian hemp. They were arrested today, August 15, by gendarmes in Yaoundé. Beatrice Gamo tells us more.
Gendarmerie post this August 15 had criminals of not so usual class, 2 specialists in trapping cats. 7 cats, their catch this day through their cunning tricks of tasty, seducing sardines, and the cats fell to their traps. Their operation zone, the Mimboman Plateau neighborhood, here in the nation's capital, where cries of disappearing cats puts the population on the alert, resulting to the arrest this morning by the Emombo Gendarme Research Brigade. The commander of the brigade research post, Serge Nkulu, presenting the supposed thieves, said investigations continuing to get those behind the trap operations in the name of business, that is, the sellers of prepared cats at the Carrier neighborhood. Alongside the specialists in trapping cats is a dealer in tramadol, hydrochloride, and another in Indian hemp. Large quantities of these drugs found in their possession. The commander of the Emombo Gendarme post used the occasion to laud the collaboration of the population for the successful operation.
A total of 149 students have graduated from the School of Agriculture and Rural Development in Menzam Division of the Northwest region. They have been told to make sure they promote second-generation agriculture. This report with Ndi Morin.
A total of 149 students have graduated from 3 schools of the Agriculture and Rural Development in Mezam Division of the Northwest region of Cameroon. They include 69 senior agriculture technicians specialized in agro-pastoral entrepreneurship from the Regional College of Agriculture in Bambili, 43 agro-pastoral entrepreneurs from the Technical School of Agriculture in Bambili, and 37 agro-pastoral counselors from the Community Development Specialization Training School in Santa.
To help me a lot in that I can forge ahead to have my degree, because this is just ancient certificate. So for me, I'm going to forge ahead to have a degree and maybe master's level in order to better myself in the field of agriculture in Cameroon. Because what we have been trained to do from here we are are supposed to better the future of Cameroon. The certificate as it is titled entrepreneurship, meaning employer. So I intend to open my own job and employ people.
Presiding at the ceremony over the weekend in Bamenda, a representative of the governor cautions the graduates of the difference between the classrooms and the outside world.
Materials for agro industries and the export market.
We move over to Mbangasina in the central region, where businessmen complain the bad state of the road is affecting their activity. They equally frown at the fact that buyers from neighboring country don't make things easier for them. Morindi once again.
Cassava is a source of livelihood for the people of Mbangasina in Bamankim division in the central region of Cameroon. The cassava is stored in this warehouse. Young men load the cassavas into bags and they are paid 100 francs CFA per bag. The demand for cassava flakes is high. Unfortunately, demand has been hampered as a result of the bad road. A bag of cassava in this month of August sells at 100 francs CFA. Retailers have equally blamed the high prices on heavy buyers from neighboring countries who purchase directly from the farms. We are suffering here in Mbangasina. The price of a bag of cassava flake is really high. We move 17 kilometers into the farms. The women are equally decrying the cumbersome processing of raw cassava to its final product, which is transformed into cassava flakes. The retailers as well as wholesalers decry the bad state of the roads, thus rendering transportation a nightmare. Good roads, I mean, that is what we want here. If we want to transport the goods from our farms, then we need good roads. The town of Mbangasina is considered as one of the biggest cassava agropoles in Cameroon.
Some 100 youths drawn from across the central region are undertaking practical courses on civic education, bilingualism and integration. The trainees are in their second week, and this training is in line with a project to train some 1,000 conscripts and 620 volunteers by the National Civic Service Agency for participation in development this 2017. The rest of the story with Beatrice Ngamo.
Effective opening of operations 1,000 conscripts and 620 volunteers of the Civic Service of Participation in Development this 2017.
On my head, on my head, on my shoulders, on my shoulders, on my waist, go down, go down.
100 youths for the central region, ready and available to acquire civic notions during the training.
We are here to help these our young Cameroonians to promote bilingualism in our nation, to experience, to gain, to profit from the various cultures that we have in our nation, and to feel free wherever we go.
The Yaoundé military headquarters, the environment chosen for the different training workshops.
How to become good citizens in society, how to help and protect others people, and also strengthen good morals.
Patriotism, environmental protection, physical and sports education also on program.
So what I do, as I do.
The response encouraging.
Some of them who started a bit timid, this second week they're really putting in effort because the example is among us. They are learning from their friends who can best express themselves in English and French.
The young Cameroonian volunteers will at the end of the training receive certificates and kits to permit them carry out proximity sensitization. The director of the National Civic Service of Participation in Development added they will continue with the development of civic clubs in their various schools. Civic agents they are expected at the end of their training course.
It is exactly 25 years since the ruler of the Bamun people, Sultan Ibrahim Bobonjoya, ascended the throne. To celebrate his silver jubilee as Sultan, a grand event held recently in Fumba Division, and it was attended by the president of the Senate, Marcel Nyat Jifenji. The rest of the story with Crystal Katala.
August 1992 to August 2017, it is exactly 25 years as Sultan Ibrahim Bombonjoya was enthroned as king. The colorful celebration that held in Fumban was witnessed by Masenyat Njifenji and other high-profile guests. It was an opportunity for the young Bamun kingmakers to learn the rituals of enthronement.
Bamam. Oh. Bamam. What?
Witnesses of the history still have clear memories as if it was yesterday. I will first of all begin by thanking the Lord for this day and this moment, unexpected, and also to thank the Sultan for the honor bestowed on me. The Sultan achievement during 25 years includes, amongst others, the reinstitution of the Ngwon Festival, the creation of the Fumban Palace Museum, a community health center, a palace hospital, and a school that teaches the Bamun writing. Sultan Ibrahim Bombonjoya became Sultan of the Bamun people in 1992 upon the death of his father, Sultan Mulu Seidu.
We now move out of the country where a 20-year-old South African lady has accused Mrs. Mugabe of hitting her after finding her with her two sons in a hotel. She says Ms. Mugabe hit her with an extension cord during the confrontation. Mrs. Mugabe failed to appear in a South African court today over the assault, and police say they don't know where she is. The desperate dig for survivors continue in Sierra Leone's capital, Freetown, after mudslides and flood claimed the lives of more than 400 people. Their homes in Freetown were engulfed after part of Sugarloaf Mountain collapsed following heavy rains early Monday. Many of the victims were still asleep. Their beds were disaster-stricken. The vice president has warned the final death toll may be far more higher, and another 3,000 people are estimated have lost their homes. Sierra Leone's president is begging for more assistance. It is here we cut it up for this edition of the News on Canal, the English Tonight. Thanks for watching and happy Feast of Ascension.